Hello. So I'm trying this landscape because landscape works a lot better for me in a lot of different ways. Mostly because I do like to archive these to YouTube, or at least I think I do. This is only my second broadcast. And so I figure landscape will work better for anybody who's catching this on YouTube. Of course, that means my, I guess, this way facing camera, not so good in dimmer light. However, I'm in a hotel room right now, as you can probably tell. Maybe. I would do a sweep of the room, but my room's a mess. In any case, I'm Piper J. Drake, and I'm in Colorado right now. Mostly for a family gathering for Thanksgiving. Those of you who live in the U.S. probably doing similar types of gatherings around the world. However, I'm not with my family tonight. I spent a little time after work yesterday and the day before with family running around checking out the Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs. Oh my gosh, incredibly gorgeous. But tonight, I have a confession to make. I'm not only on deadline, I'm kind of behind deadline, like late. Late is bad. Late is very, very, very bad for writers. It kind of happens, but we try not to let it happen if we can possibly manage it. So I'm late on my deadlines, so tonight, instead of going to spend time with my family, since they do have some other friends coming over, I'm staying here in the hotel room, and I am writing. And, well, writing sprints are the way to go right now, because I was having a serious issue trying to work through my manuscript. To be honest, I was doing revisions, and I got really bored with my own middle of my book. That does happen, seriously, especially when you're writing romantic suspense, because if you feel like this is boring for you and you're slogging through it, it's gotta be boring for the readers. So I blew out my entire Act 2. This is something that's possibly a nightmare for a lot of writers. You know, different writers have different approaches to doing their revisions. I took an entire third of my book and made it go away. Now, as a writer, I don't ever delete anything, but I definitely took an entire chunk out of my manuscript and saved it to a file and made it go away from this book because it wasn't working for me. It just wasn't. So I'm rewriting it, and I'm sure my editor, if she watches this, might reach out and kill me. Maybe. So I'm determined to rewrite this quickly but well, and I'm a lot more excited with my plot. And so I'm sitting here in a hotel room, not with my family, the night before Thanksgiving, seriously behind deadline, trying to finish my book. My boyfriend is super nice, and he ran out to go get me food because sustenance is required, possibly booze. Booze can also help too when you're drafting a manuscript, and this will probably not be the first time or the last time that you ever see me talking about booze. I'm not a lush per se, but when, you know, every once in a while, a good drink's happy, right? Hopefully, all of you could sit there and agree with that. Honestly, right now, I'm finding Colorado very dry, and so my throat gets really, really dry, especially at night. So I'm big into hot toddies in the winter. Anybody else big into hot toddies? Hearts, if you do. If not, hey, I totally understand. I'm totally open to suggestions for other drinks, but another drink that I was taught is really good for the throat is this combination, like 1 part Grand Marnier, like 1 shot glass of Grand Marnier, and 1 shot glass of Disaronno Amaretto. And you put that into like a schnifter. And it's nice if you have like an orange peel just floating in there for scent. And then what you do is you have another hot pot of tea next to you, and you put a splash of the hot tea into that mix of Grand Marnier and Amaretto, and it heats them up and it makes them really aromatic, which is why it's in a schnifter, and it smells fantastic. And then you sip at it really slowly, and it's so soothing for the throat. I really like it, especially when my throat's really dry, like it is here in Colorado. So I might be making that particular cocktail for myself sometime in the next couple of days. So hot toddies and that combination of Grand Marnier and Amaretto, so far I've talked about, and I really am a fan of a well-made old-fashioned, which hard to come by sometimes. So if anybody has any favorite recipes for an old-fashioned that they particularly like, totally hit me up on Twitter or Facebook and let me know. Not sure if anybody else has any cocktail recommendations, but I'm totally open to those. Again, totally because the sore throat, right? Not because I'm a complete and total lush. But, you know, cocktails, good for the throat. Really good for the throat. And what I'm finding out here in Colorado is there's some pretty good microbreweries, too. But in any case, back to the fact that I'm doing writing sprints. So this Periscope's going to be pretty short. This broadcast is going to be pretty short because it's one of my breaks to just let me clear my head and babble a little bit before I go back to my writing sprint. And I was thinking about doing an Ask Me Anything, and then I got scared because I'm very new to this Periscope thing. And I watched one of the UFC Periscope broadcasts because I'm kind of into mixed martial arts. And wow, that interview was crazy pants. People were commenting so fast. The person on the Periscope just wasn't able to answer the questions fast enough. But I don't know. We'll see. So in any case, I don't know. For the rest of the evening, I will be writing. In between writing sprints, I'm probably not going to do another Periscope per se. However, I probably am going to be doing a couple other things to, you know, sort of clear my brain. And some people might call it procrastinating, you know, readily procrastinating. There's always YouTube looking for There's always YouTube looking for inspiration. However, that is a huge rabbit hole, and sometimes I end up looking at videos that have nothing to do with my book. Facebook, it's fun to check that every once in a while, although Facebook has been getting a little negative sometimes in the feed. Is anybody else finding that? I think it's just one of those things where there's a lot going on in the world and a lot of people have different reactions to it. So Facebook, I've noticed a lot of people have either been posting negative stuff or have been commenting about how sad they are that they're seeing everybody else posting negative stuff in their feed. So I've been trying to be pretty positive on my feed, mostly because I'm a big believer in what you put out is what you get back in the world. Twitter, also something I check in between writing sprints, and then I also play some little games on my phone, like School Idol and Puzzles and Dragons. Not sure if anybody plays those, but they're fun. Now, technically, between my writing sprints, I should be walking. I should be walking around. I should be maybe even exercising a little bit, so maybe I will try to do that in between one of my writing sprints tonight. It's gonna be a long, long night. That's all I gotta say. But overall, this is me, Piper J. Drake, working on my next book, writing, and messing around with Periscope. And honestly, last but not least, I should be writing right now. So, I'm going to wrap up this podcast, or this is not a podcast, broadcast, and I will see you next time, and hopefully I will learn to, you know, be entertaining. Who knows? But this is your little snapshot of writer's life. See you guys later. How do I stop this podcast? I don't even know. Okay, stop podcast.